It's a week of premieres for this gentleman, returning to the Rich Eisen Show. Season 3 of Shooter premieres this Thursday on USA Network. I think Ryan Phillippe is joining us in studio next week. And then this book you can get right now where all books are sold. Check it out right now. The author sitting right next to me, From Fatherless to Fatherhood, Omar Epps. Good to see you, sir.
It's good to be back.
So this book coming out right now, obviously Father's Day.
Right.
What's this book about? What do you want people to know about this journey of yours, Omar?
It's kind of a memoir about my life. It's chronicling my journey, having grown up without a father and then becoming a father. And it came from a real moment that I had with my son one day that caused me to reflect on my life. And I had a question: did somehow growing up fatherless, did that creep into my fatherhood? You know, and it was kind of a startling thought. And then I began this journey of just reflecting, and then the stories started pouring out.
What do you mean by that question?
Well, I mean, I've, done okay for myself in this life, and I'm taking care of my family and all those things. But, sometimes we have our tough days and we're tired, or we just want to chill out. And, sometimes we can overlook our children in that way. Like sometimes I think people think their presence is the present to their kids. And it's like, nah, with kids, you got to be active.
You do.
You know what I mean? It's about activation.
I totally hear you, Omar, where there are times where, I'm tired. My wife, we are so tired. We have 3 kids under the age of 10.
Oh, man.
We are so tired.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to come home and just hang,
right,
not do anything. And then my kids would come up and say, "Dad, do you want to play ball?" And I'm like thinking to myself, deep down, no chance. I just,
right.
I mean, very honest.
Right.
No way. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do that. I want to do that. But then I think to myself, of course I've got to get up and play ball here and then get into it and be present in that regard.
Right.
Put my phone down, which is tough sometimes.
Right.
Certainly in this 21st century.
Yes.
And make sure that my kids don't know I'm having this inner monologue either.
Right. Right.
So I hear you, but I also had a dad growing up. I wonder where the fatherlessness comes into play for you, Omar.
Well, it's for me, it's having had certain moments and thoughts like that I don't have a barometer, so to say. I had great father figures coming up in my life Marlon Wayans' father was one of them. My other best friend, Mitchell Marchand, his Uncle Bob was one of them. Just, but I didn't have that blueprint at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so, become a man and start having children of your own. It's like, you can read all the books that you want, but if you don't have that hands-on experience, I was wondering, was I missing certain things?
Because you didn't have that presence constantly
in
your life.
In my household growing up. I didn't have that sort of, okay, you move like this, here's the blueprint. I'm just sort of figuring it out as I'm going.
Omar Epps here on the Rich Eisen Show, From Fatherless to Fatherhood. Check it out. Again, where books are sold, and you're going to be signing this Saturday at the Grove here in Los Angeles, 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Pacific
at the
time
Grove,
out here.
Yeah.
Okay. I never forget the time hanging out with Dion and him saying to me that the first time he ever saw another grown man shave was when he was in college.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my reaction too. And there's so many athletes that we see that we look up to and we don't know what's going on between the temples.
Right.
Did not have a father figure. How do you think that manifests itself for these athletes as they go about their business, Omar?
I mean, it's a great question. I think in probably some of the ways that it did for me. I mean, one thing I can say, my mom is amazing. She is my superhero, my superwoman.
How many siblings do you have?
Well, actually, I'm my mother's only child.
Okay.
I had a little sister from my father's side.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom's amazing. I wouldn't be here without her. But, you just, again, learning how to shave, learning how to defend yourself, or, throwing around the ball in the park, all those things that you just sort of miss. It can manifest itself in different ways, but I think the key is to, especially if you're working hard and you're getting somewhere in your life, you have to figure out that work for yourself, and especially ideally before you start a family. At least, you have to be able to look at yourself in third person see your strengths, see your weaknesses, so you can do the work on both.
And it took you 3 years to write this? Is
Yeah.
that what you did?
About 3 years, yeah.
And you self-published it?
Self-published, yep.
Man.
Yep. I'm just trying. I'm trying, Rich.
And I mean, no, that is that's impressive. I mean, did you knocked on doors of publishers and they were like, okay, or
I'll be, because we're here, we always keep it real.
we do.
Yeah. No, I did. I went. I wanted to self-publish from the beginning. My team was like, hey, you should do the rounds. I did the rounds. I had a deal on the table, which I was very humbled by, but the business made no sense whatsoever to me. Like the business of it, I was like, whoa, there's no negotiating. You want to,
No, like here's your advance, go write it.
Yeah, and here's the split, and here's the royalties, and I was like, hey guys, I can go market myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not starting like at zero here.
Yeah.
And I kind of think like that. Obviously the publishing business is, I think it's still thriving, but I guess in how you deliver it is sort of. I kind of look at it like the publishing business is where the music business was post Napster, but pre iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's because you can print on demand, you can self-publish. You just got to get the word out.
Yeah. And again, check it out where books are sold. Omar Epps, the author of the From Fatherless to Fatherhood. I want to take a 60-second break, come back and talk some sports with you.
Let's do it.
Cowboys. And
Dak Prescott, baby.
That's right. I think he's on DP show tomorrow in New York City. He's making the rounds tomorrow.
Going to surprise some people.
Okay. Are you available for him to throw to?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
We're back in 60 seconds. He's a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys. He's Omar Epps back here on the Rich Eisen Show. And perhaps as Chris Brockman alluded to going to break, perhaps the lead running back of the ESU Timberwolves from back in the day still has his cleats from the program.
I got to dust them off a little.
What'd you think of the way the Cowboys handled Dez Bryant in his situation, Omar?
I mean, I love Dez. I wish him nothing but the best. I didn't like it, but, one thing no one can question Jerry Jones about is an eye for talent. Like you can't really question that. Like he will get you the pieces. So obviously they seem to be going younger. They got to have a plan, right? You're not going to get rid of Dez without a plan. So they got to have something.
Well, let me get to it's June 19th.
Yep.
I mean, I think you're going to have all the pieces in house that you're going to have. I mean, there's Alan Hearns, obviously they got from Jacksonville, who's very talented if he can stay healthy.
Right.
Hey,
it's Dak's second year. Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
O-line pretty much. I think our defense is going to be better than what people think. The defense they surprised me last year, But
yeah, I just don't know. And again, it's not just Dez, it's Witten too.
Yeah.
And I know Witten was he had one more year left in him. But they kept on asking him back for a reason.
Hall of Fame career.
I know.
Hall of Fame career.
He's a guy who knows how to get open on those third downs that I don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah, but listen, he can't play forever. Jason Witten was an incredible player. He gave us his all, and I'm forever grateful to him as a Cowboys fan, but he was way long in the tooth.
Well, Dion, I guess I keep invoking his name on the show today.
It's D, Rich. D.
D. Yeah, D.
Yeah, D.
It's not D. Nobody calls him D. Nobody.
It's D.
Prime time.
He believes that the Cowboys should just look at that wide receiver depth chart, look within, and say, Dez, we were wrong.
And just bring him back?
And bring him back.
I think they should. I think it's a great idea.
I'm not mad at it. Would he come back, though?
I don't think so.
Not for less money.
Would he
That's
come
for
back?
sure.
I don't know. Maybe I doubt that heavily. Maybe for less money. It's entirely possible that the Cowboys would offer that. And
Well, like a 1 year, 6 or something like that?
I think Dez is hoping for the Giants to call him up.
Really?
Yeah. Or I think he is just hoping that
because he wants to stay in the division?
He wants to stay in the division, and he would love to play with Odell, knowing that so much attention would be taken by him. And obviously they've got Sterling Shepard too, but you want 3 wide receivers, flip him however $1 million you want. He wants to go to New York. Eli, Saquon, Odell, Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard,
And Des Bryant.
and Des Bryant would definitely be a very difficult 3 wide receiver set.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. If I were Des, I would go to the Patriots or I would go to the Packers.
Now, that would be amazing if he went to either one of those 2 teams, but that would be so uncharacteristic of the Packers, I think, to go and make a free agent move like that in the middle of the summer.
True. But I'm just saying, like, it's, if Des is trying to win, like, that sounds good, on the Giants, but Odell, what's the sideline going to be like? What's the locker room going to be like in that scenario? And you're definitely not the number one. So,
well, the locker room is one thing. There's still Eli, and this kid.
Eli's long in the tooth.
This kid.
Come on.
Hold on a second. Now, this is going to be an amazing question for the year because we'll see if it was the protection or it is what you're alluding to, that he's past his born-on date in the NFL. Okay.
I think it's a little bit of both. Definitely last year, the protection was horrible.
Dreadful.
It was
last
terrible.
2 years. And also the play calling. Everybody understood. They ran the same personnel out there. Everybody knew what the hell was coming.
Right.
Now, if you've got an ability to wonder where it's going, and this kid, Saquon Barkley, I have no problem saying I have man love for this guy. He is so incredible. And the guy who can pre-snap carve you up is still back there.
Right.
His arm may be one thing, but his mind's a different thing.
That's very true.
And that's Tom Brady's protector they just signed as a left tackle and Nate Solder. So they're going to have a better line. If I'm Dez, I'm just sitting here waiting and having whoever keep peppering the Giants and say, I want in.
Do they have that money?
What would it be? I mean, $5 million, $6 million? He'd take that hometown discount to go stick it in Jerry's land?
I don't know.
I'm just throwing that all out there.
I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, it probably want 1 year, $6 million, something like that. He only wants a 1-year deal. He turned down a 3-year deal from Baltimore.
Yeah, that's.
He didn't want to play for the Ravens.
What do you think about Lamar Jackson? About, I don't know if you've been able to pay attention too deeply to it, but they're throwing him out there with Joe Flacco and calling it a 2-quarterback set.
I mean,
and seeing how that can work out.
I mean, they're saying the kid is talented.
I can't wait to see him.
They said the kid is talented, and I think put a little pressure on Flacco because he signed that big deal, and then it's kind of been okay-ish since then. So
exactly
makes sense. Put a little pressure on him.
I can't wait to see him play.
Yeah.
Omar Epps here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think LeBron's going to do? What do you think on
that?
The
big question. I think if LeBron is legitimately trying to win another chip, you stay in the East, you go to Philly, you go to like some move like that, or maybe Houston. But if it's just like a legacy move, family business, come to LA. Come to LA. I don't know how it would work. I know they could move some pieces around. Let's come with Chris Paul. They say Paul George is coming and figure out the Kawhi thing. That's interesting. Dare I say stranger things have happened?
Stranger things have happened. But
does that team beat the Warriors?
So let's stay here. Let's linger. Forget about the cap issues here too, because I can't imagine Chris Paul signs with the Lakers. Paul George comes. The Lakers trade for Kawhi, and LeBron says, "I'm the cherry on top. Let's go." That somehow fits underneath the cap,
okay.
And that they have an ability to fill out the rest of the roster in a competitive manner.
Right.
Let's just.
Is Lonzo still there or no? Or is he part of the trades?
Lonzo's not there in that
Okay.
equation.
All right.
Yeah.
Where is he?
I don't know, but he's not there.
Okay,
let's just say he's in Lithuania.
Okay.
Just for argument's sake. Okay. Just throw it out there. Does that team beat the Warriors? Chris Paul, LeBron James, Paul George, and young Kawhi.
Well, Chris Paul's getting hurt in the playoffs.
Oh,
so you really
it's still too soon. It's still too soon.
I think that is a formidable team. I think that when you look at, because for now, no one can beat the Warriors, right? But what LeBron just did is incredible. Incredible. He literally, and this is no disrespect whatsoever. I'm a basketball fan, so I get to have my opinion. As a fan watching, the finals, it was like, hey, Omar, Rich, you two, let's go play the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Right? I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Even I've literally never seen Michael Jordan carry a team that obviously, right? So to me, you put, like if Kyrie was still on the Cavs, that's at least 2 games in that final series, right? So you put Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George he's got to step up.
Maybe
And
hold on a minute.
LeBron James, Kawhi is a beast.
Let's throw one more in there. You call Gabrielle Union, because you go back in the day from Love and Basketball.
You bring Dwayne?
You bring Dwayne, too. Bring them all.
Hey.
Just get them all. Get them all.
I like his chances.
Now we got the muscle. No, look, in all honesty, though, I don't see Popovich trading Kawhi Leonard within the conference.
He doesn't want to be there.
I have a very difficult time believing LeBron James in any way, shape, or form later on in his career, where everybody who goes further and further. You've been at what was your first acting gig? When was your first acting gig? 90.
Yeah, like 92.
Okay.
Something.
So you've been at this now for over a quarter century.
Right.
Oh, you're coming up on 30 years soon. We'll round up.
Right.
You don't want to be dealing with drama, right? Anyway,
Right.
You don't want any cast drama. You don't want any drama with your director. When you're dealing with this book, you don't want any drama.
Right.
Why would LeBron come and hook his wagon up to anything remotely close to what LeVar Ball might throw in the middle of a pond?
That's why Ball has to go.
He's gone too. So Lonzo's gone. They get rid of Lonzo.
They clear
out Lonzo. They clear out Cap. They bring in Kawhi somehow. LeBron comes. I don't even know if Paul George has got to come. Which one would you take, Paul George or Chris Paul? You got to take Chris Paul, certainly, if Lonzo's gone.
Yeah, you got to take Chris Paul. Here's what I'll say. If that happens,
yes,
and if they somehow pull this off, if he were to beat the Warriors, go to the finals, and win a chip for the Lakers, that's drop the mic time. Just
Drop the mic time what?
like
better than Michael Jordan?
No, it's not even about that.
Okay.
It's like this is like
Okay.
It's just drop the mic time. Like
on
that
his
would
career, and leave it to your interpretation.
Yeah, just on his career. Like, all right, you can retire now. You know what I mean?
I love how you're the guardian of the Michael Jordan gate over there, Mr.
Well,
Boston.
it would just be LeBron. He did exactly what Kevin Durant did. Just form a super team.
But as Lisa Leslie said an hour or two, that's the way it goes now. That's it.
Unfortunately,
that's the way of the world.
That's how the NBA
and the
is,
way that it used to be. The Lakers and your Celtics team back in the day were super teams themselves. They drafted them together,
right, they were
and it wasn't an
constructed from the ground
expanded
up.
league where you could actually have somebody 8th, 9th on the bench who was a spectacular player.
Because there were only 26 teams in the league.
Yeah,
back then.
sitting next to the towel-waving ML Carr.
Yeah.
There is no. You really can't compare. You got to go by eras.
Yeah, and I'm sick of the comparison.
Listen, for me, Mike is the GOAT. But when you really look at it, it's like, you look at not only the pieces that he had around him, but he had Phil Jackson. You can't have one without the other.
LeBron's had some.
Who's LeBron? You know what I mean? So you just got to look at it like the guy went to 8 shit. That's just unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And then, so have we decided this team beats the Warriors that is constituted? Our make-believe Laker team beats the Warriors? Because you say Chris Paul's going to get hurt.
He'll get hurt in the playoffs.
And then Zaza Pachulia will stick his foot underneath Kawhi
and
at
then
the worst time.
And then Paul George is going to go 1 for 15.
And then
LeBron's got to do it
by
all
himself
himself.
again.
Yeah, just by himself.
Hey, but
We're back to where we started.
At least his teammates will know the score.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Good to see you, Omar.
Good to be here. It's always good
From
to see you.
fatherless to fatherhood, check it out. Go and buy it for the dad in your life, or for somebody who may have grown up fatherless, or for anybody that you think could get this life lesson from Omar Epps. And if you are in the area at the Grove here in Los Angeles on Saturday at Barnes & Noble, 4 Pacific, come say hello.
Yeah, come say hello.
Good to see you. You come say hello anytime, too. Oh, and Shooter as well on USA.
Season 3.
Coming up on Thursday. Check it out. That's at, let me get the proper time. It was at 9 Eastern. Is that what it is on USA? We'll get that when we come back.
Yeah.
Omar Epps, thank you for coming on.
Good to be here.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.